If you're one of the 10 million Americans who we just learned stand to be kicked off of Medicaid if this Republican budget goes through Congress, the answer is go pound sand. That is unacceptable in a democracy. We will not rest until we have restored freedoms like a woman's right to choose.
Pete Buttigieg there campaigning for Democratic values at a town hall event in Cedar Rapids, Iowa last night. The former transportation secretary is no stranger to the state. He actually won the Iowa caucus during the 2020 presidential primary, garnering support across the state and in all age groups. Now, Buttigieg is ramping up appearances, sparking rumors of a 2028 bid. For more on this, let's bring in Lynda Tran. She served as the senior advisor to Pete Buttigieg when he was transportation secretary. Longtime viewers of this network will recognize Lynda. She was always used to join us back in the day. New-time viewers will find out why that is. Great to see you, Lynda. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning.
So, of course, this town hall gives the impression that Buttigieg may consider running for president in 2028, even if he's still not giving a concrete answer on that. What's your position?
Look, I really take my old boss at his word when he says he is evaluating, he's making sure that he's getting out there into the world and talking to people. You know, I think what's really interesting, Earl, about how we've seen him show up recently is he's showing up in ways that are, frankly, very difficult for other people to do. He was on that Flagrant podcast for 3 hours. He did Colbert. He did these kinds of interviews, which, you know, typically elected leaders, party officials, they tend to steer away from it because, frankly, they're difficult. They're not scripted. They're off the cuff. And that is a place that Pete really shines.
He's got his beard grown out. We also know that he's no stranger to appearing on Fox News, typically conservative, but holding the position on Democratic issues. And he's also attracting some headlines this morning for comments he made after the event in Iowa, and it has to do with former President Biden. Let's listen to that.
Would the party have been better off if he just not run for re-election?
Maybe, and you know, right now with the benefit of hindsight, I think most people would agree that that's the case.
So the question was about if former President Biden should have run for re-election, if it was a mistake, and he seemed to suggest there with hindsight it may have been not the best idea. Also trying to thread the needle between Democrats who liked what Biden did but did not like the results of the election. How do you characterize his stance on the topic of former President Biden?
Yeah, I think what the secretary was saying is that clearly the outcome is not what Democrats had hoped for, and Donald Trump is in the White House and he's pushing programs and policies that Democrats don't agree with. But I don't think that is actually in conflict with the experience that I know the secretary had and that others had, where you had a very tough boss in Joe Biden who had this driving force to serve the American people. So you could have a feeling that the outcome of the election was tough, difficult, not what we wanted, but also respect the service that President Biden offered to the country.
Lynda Tran, always great to see you. Come back anytime. Thanks for joining us.